How's it going, guys? This is Steve from Broke to Wealthy. Hope you've all had an excellent week despite the bloodshed in the markets. And today we'll be taking an overview look of the market. We'll look at Jerome Powell's statement from the Fed this morning. And then in the second part of this video, I want to share with you guys a recent book that I discovered and read that is changing my life and the way that I view wealth creation. So I'll go ahead and share that with you. With that being said, let's jump into today's video. So guys, my portfolio is down horribly right now, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. If we take a look at the S&P 500, which is a group of the 500 largest companies in the US right now, year to date the S&P 500 is down 21%. If we take a look at Apple, a staple of the stock market, year to date down 26%. If we take a look at Amazon, down 37%. Bitcoin down 55%, and Procter & Gamble, which is considered one of the safest stocks in the market. This is your consumer household goods. They make shampoos, toilet paper, toothpaste, down year to date 19%. So the reason I'm doing this is I want to show you guys, even though we have these large companies down, it's important to understand that we need to look at the larger picture. If we go back to the S&P 500 and we zoom out to see the entire history of the stock market, if you had invested in the beginning, you'd be up 3,414%. And looking at this chart, you can see right here when we had in early 2000s, we had the crash going here into the real estate crash of 2007. You can see a huge drop right there. All the way up here, we had a small dip. Up here we had another one, and of course COVID hit hard, and then the amount of quantitative easing, government spending, free money has finally caught up. Inflation is at 40-year high, and that is why we are seeing the current downtrend in the market. But if you zoom out, and it's important to zoom out, if we do the same with Apple, over there max, you would have a 223,000% return. So it's important not to freak out. You guys do your research, find your companies and your cryptos that you believe in. If you believe in them and you invest in them, think long term. If you have some money on the side, do some dollar cost averaging and add to them. I can guarantee you, if you look at these portfolios, if you look at these graphs right here, looking at Bitcoin, over time these do go up. Not financial advice. Do your research, study what you invest in before you make your decisions. With that being said, I want to touch on Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve announcement this morning. They came out raising interest rates by 0.75%, which is the largest in 40 years, I think I read correctly. So what they're doing right now is they are getting aggressive with inflation. And what Jerome Powell said, what they're attempting to do is what is called a soft landing. And the only things that are holding up the stock market the economy right now, is the fact that unemployment is still low and the housing market at this time is still steady. And so what Jerome Powell is doing, his hope and the Fed's hope of raising interest rate by attacking inflation, is that people will start spending less. People will start taking out less loans. And obviously this is going to affect the economy. It will bring the economy down, but the soft landing aims to bring the economy down without actually getting it into a recession. And thanks to the unemployment staying steady and the housing market staying steady, that could be possible. Now, in the past that hasn't worked out that way, but Jerome Powell is certain that this time it's going to work. Once we do start, and if we do start, let's not say once, if we start seeing layoffs start ticking up, companies start laying more and more people off, that could potentially lead to a downturn in the housing market. Less people are able to make their mortgage payments, so therefore they need to sell. We have start getting more and more houses on the market. With the interest rates going up, that could cause less people to want to buy. So that could lead into a recession, and a lot of experts are predicting a recession in early 2023. So time will tell. But what's important to know is you need to ignore all this background noise. If you look at the charts, you look at the history of these markets, over time they do go up, and that is why I am not freaking out, and I am making my plays and my investments where I believe is going to come out on top. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at Beyond Wealth by Alexander Green, and this is changing my mindset on wealth. I want Broke to Wealthy to not be mainly on having monetary wealth and having material items. Well, that is a small part of wealth. What I want it to be is having more of a spiritual connection with wealth and being able to find the true meaning of wealth creation. What makes you wealthy on the inside? And this book does an excellent job of reminding us of the important things in life that we come into contact with every day, from the people that we meet, from the food that we eat, the places we surround ourselves in. That does an excellent job of reminding us the important things in life. And one example that I want to use is he talks about the power of negative visualization, and this can work for people who are sad and people who are happy. And how it works is he uses the example of being in traffic or stuck in a line. When you are in those situations, it's important to visualize negatively your life by having all your physical possessions, everything that has value to you and meaning to you, all of a sudden disappear. And by putting yourself in that situation and that present moment, it gives you a sense of appreciation for what you have. And that is something that he talks about. Another thing he talks about, and it's such simple things, getting in touch with classical music, listening to classical music, finding a chocolate that you enjoy. He talks about just kind of living a mindful, compassionate, more of like an intelligent, rich life is what the book talks of. And the name fits it perfectly. Beyond Wealth, finding what really truly is wealth to you. And I think that is so important, and I'm going to start emphasizing that more and more, talking about mental health and talking about incorporating the physical, the material side of wealth creation with the spiritual side, and finding that balance to what really makes you happy in life. And Beyond Wealth by Alexander Green, especially now when the markets are down, people's sentiment is low, this is the best book that one could read, because it is going to keep your mind in the right place, and it's going to help you ignore the markets. You keep doing your investments, but on the same time, it's going to remind you what's important in life. So guys, I'm going to put the link down below. Be sure to check it out. Get that book. You will not be disappointed. With that being said, that's today's video. Guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the likes and people subscribing. Keep them coming. Remember, keep your head up, stay positive, look after each other, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Cheers.